All right, there we go. It's working. Interestingly, since I've been bloating more and more and more the stream stuff, OBS seems to be struggling to put me live, which is kind of funny. I have the sun shining, glaring in my eyes. I'm going to do another practice cast based on the pre-game lobby shenanigans. Made quite a few changes, as you can see here, which we'll get into very soon. But yeah, hopefully should be pretty good. Got a lot to talk to you guys about. And yeah, it should be fun. I'm just going to get myself some coffee as we get started. To be clear here, the game is going to begin in its EU Prime. Enrollment is currently live. The tournament itself starts in 6 minutes. That's going to be just enough time for me to get some coffee. Anyone who is using a guild team will have my eternal gratitude here. But yeah, so how's it going, guys? Gingerbread Jedi. This won't be a very long one. I'm literally probably just going to do the cast, and then we'll see. But yeah, good luck, Dusty. It'd be nice to see if you can get the team ready. I am doing EU Prime. It is EU Prime. The day of the week is Friday, so people should be off work at about now. And it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it should be good. I hope to see you guys in just a second. I've got to go get some coffee. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my energy in the middle of this. Should be fun. See you all very, very soon. Alrighty then. Hello everybody, I'm back. Alright, so got some nice hot coffee, a can of Coke. Should be pretty cool. Dusty, you got a team. Awesome. So yeah, we're going to be checking out the EU AT here. Lang just said, are you able to spectate the automated tournaments now? Yeah, I think for about a year now, all partners have had that capability. And it took me about a year to realize very few of us were taking advantage of it whatsoever. Which is pretty sad, actually. I think there's 3 of us on the scene that are genuinely trying with it. There's obviously a lot of partners. Most of them care about other aspects of the game, though. And they're not necessarily doing this So I thought I'd try it out, especially with a lot of new blood, it feels like, coming back into PvP. It's a good time to take a look at it and see how things are going. You took a 2-season break. You would have been up for it, but you took a 2-season break. 2 seasons wasn't too long. That means you stopped around season 9, which was kind of when I came back. So, yeah, people had been able to do this for a long time. You feel like you haven't seen any of it. Well, I'm basically trying a lot of different things to make this interesting. We've got all kinds of different fancy stuff going on. I'm currently just in a dueling server, if you guys are wondering what this is here. I'm just watching people basically go toe-to-toe. Let's actually put the audio on for you all. And just seeing how they play. I still have an idea to use 2 PCs at once, but since the pre-game lobby concept seems to have a lot of weight behind it, but also it's quite difficult to pull off, I'll probably spend the next little while practicing on that while CVPCS can get kill counters and things rolling. I don't have a message from him so far today, so doesn't look like anything will be going there. How many teams are queued for EU? I don't know. There should be quite a lot though, because this is the big EU one really. This is European Prime of today. And we will know now as well to avoid that Ranger matchup where the guy just queues in on Rangers, which is a bit annoying, but we know to avoid that as a dud game. I don't know. And the other thing with the pre-game lobby is it gives us a lot to do even when we see a slam dunk in one way or the other, which I think is good. It's basically a win-win. Either the first round we get a difficult game, in which case it's cool, we've got loads of time to enjoy ourselves, or second it's a slam dunk, and if it's a slam dunk I have loads of time to set up the lobby for the next round where that team will progress forward, so it's very good. There are 16 teams so far, so 16 times 5, that's a lot of players. That's 75 players again, isn't it? I think I just got that right. No, sorry. 70 players? I think it's 70 players. Or my maths is terrible. No, my maths is actually terrible, isn't it? Anyway, it's alright. It's a good amount of people. It's not too shabby. You're not in the guild, so ... Yeah, I actually have a lot of mails at the moment of people asking to get in the guild. And I haven't responded to them just yet today because I've been looking at this all day. I actually, so between the 2 streams here, I've just been watching this. So I don't know whether we'll see any other cool guild teams come in, but I hope we do. It starts in 0 seconds. Here we go. So get ready for EU Prime, guys. Let's see what we've got. Any guild teams whatsoever, I will guaranteed follow them. I think this is a guild team. This one down here, Crane from Heart of Tanks. I'm pretty sure that that's a guild team. So we can totally watch them. I don't see Dosty having queued in anywhere, so we'll have to watch out for that. Let me just quickly go run my double click toggler again. And yeah, we'll wait for the games to go live and we'll see how it goes. So we're going to be watching Beggar's Bindle versus Crane. Their team name is just Crane. That's a really weird team name, isn't it? I'm blind, am I? I see Desty. Are you Desty? Shall we watch? Oh, we're in now. So it's Temple. Listen, if you get through, Dosty, we will watch you go through. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on here. Let's move over to the pre-game lobby. And we'll see exactly what kind of stuff we're dealing with as the game begins. So, here you go. No, this is their team. Sweet. So, we've got... This is Dosty's crew. This is Dosty versus Crane. Okay, so we've got Dosty versus Crane with the Heart of Tanks. Let's deal with Dosty's team first. We got PH Vilma. See, I saw your message there. PH Vilma appears to be playing a Warrior 1v1 build. He is the Spellbreaker Rampage build. We have a Menders Support Firebrand here as well. So, blue team pretty good so far. We have a Druids. The Druid is running Mender's Amulet. So, he's definitely a 1v1-y Druid. And he's going to be a duelist too. We'll say that he goes to the other nodes. They have another duelist. Oh my god, guys, you're loading up the duelist pretty hard here. They got another warrior who's going to be pushing some side engagements. And finally, they have Dosty, guys, on the full trap Dragon Hunter. And we'll see exactly how he does there. He's definitely just their DPS. So they've kind of got a mid-fight established. They've they've got very little roaming capacity, okay, on the blue team. So we have to hope that Dusty's crew and PH Filmer, that they actually win some of their engagements. If they don't win the engagements, it's not going to go very well for them. We'll watch Dusty himself as he comes out live here, and we'll see how it goes.
Restore.
I hope you guys enjoyed the FF15 music, by the way. Gotta love any opportunity to do that. So who do they have to go into their close node? It looks like we're going to be seeing they send their druid there. There's going to be a 4v4. Let's watch these traps, guys. Here we go. The DH traps from Beggar's Bindle on the blue team. He drops his 5 down, gets some nice CCs. Gets a great longbow 3 as well. He's standing there just eating so much cleave, though. What are you doing? You had dodge rolls available. Rally race is in progress. Oh my god. So 2 stomps go through at the mid-fight, but no rallies on either team. That just shows how focused the damage has been here. Nice little kill from Sylvana here. Just trying to DPS through the Chrono's shield stuff. They actually have a lot of pressure here. Very, very, very good. I want to take your attention as well, since it looks like Dusty's crew has won the mid-fight here, to their rotating druid, who is going for the back cap. He's going to be aggressed by an enemy Reaper, I think this looks like, since I can see he's got a great sword. So this will be a pretty interesting little 1v1 here. The Reaper could absolutely thrash the... Yeah, look at him getting destroyed. Get out of the Soul Spy. This is so bad. I think the Reaper's going to absolutely mess this Druid up. He's got so much Boon Corrupts. CA is available, so he manages to sustain a little bit more with that. The decap has gone through, so if we actually see the Ranger kite around a bit, he's actually now sustained through the worst of it, and he should be fine. I'm going to move away from that there. Mid, we still see the red players are trickling into mid, and they're being punished hard for it. Dusty reclaimed close. Sorry, I thought Dusty was at the mid fight. Red is being punished so hard. Not a good game at all for Crane here. Oh, who, by the way, do they have an icon? They do. It's just like... bugged, I guess. Let's get their icon on. We need their icon, guys. I'm going to freeze the stream just for a second so we can get their icon. I'm not having that. I'm not having... Oh, we've actually freezed the stream for a really, really, really long time there. Oh, no, and I messed it up. We'll do it again. I need to figure out this. For some reason, the red icon sometimes doesn't load, and that's just me on my end. That's just... like, there, it didn't load again. Neither of their team's icons loaded that time, actually. I wonder if that's because I'm using it in the pre-game lobby, actually. It could be that. Which would be a bit stupid of me, so maybe I'll change it. There we go, we get their icons now. All right, so anyway, look, Blue, they're still doing it. Dusty going ahead against the Reaper, gets grinded up in the Gravity Well and the Reaper's attacks at the same time. When you've got all traps, you have no worthwhile sustain on your utilities, and so you are going to get punished if you take any kind of focus. He still chooses down the node. I'd be on my longbow already right now, to be perfectly honest. They're getting the higher pressure, though, so good stuff here. It is a pretty close game, frankly, guys. Moving over to the Beggar's Bindles close, and we can see that the Ranger is actually now engaged in holding this. He should absolutely be able to beat this enemy Roamer away. The fact that this enemy Thief is even going for this whatsoever on Crane's team is a little bit questionable. He takes the stomp, forcing a port. The port stays on the node, so that's good. But anyway, so Druid has won that, as we'd expect. And now it's not going very well for Beggar's Bindle here in mid. The traps go over the body. Will the traps win the rally race just as Dusty always claims they will? Unfortunately, they don't. And because he loses that rally race, he's heavily outnumbered here. Do they get the res in? Respawning Beggar's Bindle players come in very, very hard, very fast. But they're trying to do it against a Reaper. And I'm telling you, these Reapers that you're seeing do so much swing damage at these mid-fights. So Blue now actually heavily punished for their stagger. Moving back over, we can see that the... Oh, I thought he got it for a second. The Druid that picked up close for Beggar's Bindle actually then rotated into Stillness. He was actually delayed on the cap from the respawning enemy Roamer. Entangling Roots comes out. Pretty goddamn frustrating. Right now, I'd really like to see Beggar's Bindle actually push one of the other 2 nodes on the map. If they can slip past. But this is the thing, right? They're very stationary. They're very static. They're not necessarily going to have much roaming capacity to do that. We saw that on the pre-game lobby earlier. They are managing to secure the kills. It really feels to me like the Crane Thief is not doing enough for his team right now. All this AoE cleave coming over the Stillness cap. They've even got the enemy Soul Beast super low. Let's see if they can pressure it. Is he going to shoot it? No, they just let it rotate off. The Soul Beast is actually going to be moving to fight against the support. If the support can get full cap in time, they do indeed. Sorry, we've not really been watching you very much here, Wendy, but he got the full cap, so that's excellent. This 2v1's really good for the support as well. He can drop the bubbles to prevent all the projectile damage. He's actually been +3'd at the moment for the enemy team. He almost scores a kill as well. So that huge... Oh my god, and now Sylvana comes in. Does Sylvana make a play? This is why Warbanner is meta, guys, and people just haven't realized. Think about the strength of a Warbanner there. Punishing these red players who didn't know. So instead, that's just a trickle. But it's okay because Beggar's Bindle, they secure sides, they secure stillness, they're getting double value out of these 2 caps. This one will flip back in their favor in just a second. You'll see that going up by 4 ticks. Look at the bar, how quickly it's accelerating that right now. Really, really brilliant. Beggar's Bindle with this play, well ahead of Crane. So let's check out how Crane's doing, and let's watch maybe some of their players. Starting off with their Dagger. What build is this guy? Is he Marauder? Yeah, Dagger Marauder Thief. So just starting out, and it's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. Unless this is actually good, and I've just missed the memo. But I'm not too aware. So nice little play here. He sneaks out. He gets the decap. Beggar's Bindle are not in a position to deal with that, especially with how slow Beggar's Bindle are. Really, a lot of Crane's strength is going to be on that Thief to just be able to move around a lot. But Crane is currently still wiping in mid. I think, honestly, Crane needed to get the memo that it's not worth charging mid over and over and over again quite a while ago. It's still everything to play for, though, because they are scoring those neutralizations. If you actually look at the cap state right now, it is only Crane that owns something. Nice little rotation here from the Crane Mesmer, who is a duelist and seeks to hold his node against this enemy Beggar's Bindle Druid. He's been plussed by PH Filmer, so he's got to watch out very carefully here. But he can sustain this for a while. He can even hold it in his favor for a while. Not very good usage of continue. Oh, no, actually, I tell it. No. He missed the gravity well. He does get the double heal, though. He didn't necessarily get any block value from it. But look at this sustain. Look at this Chrono sustain. And now PH Filmer actually bails out. Probably a huge misplay. They needed to hammer this down. So this is excellent here for Crane right now. Crane can use this time to start scoring other stuff, like, for example, Tranquility, which just came up. They are getting free cap on Tranquility right now. Let's see if Teresa can get the full thing. We as spectators are going to see it. It flips right in the last second. PH Filmer doesn't get it in time. Nobody's here to turn that into a 6 cap, but they're still doing pretty well. Over here, we've got Crane in a 1v1 downstate v downstate. Who will actually win this? The Warrior could potentially Vengeance. They're going for the Vengeance play, but unless he rallies off of this Vengeance, this is really gross. He does not rally from the Vengeance, so Sylvana doesn't score decap because you can't do that while you're in Vengeance. So still get... And remember, that's an extremely strong, worthy node right now. Stillness is still available for play. There seems like there's just been a crunch going on in mid over and over and over again. Mids that Crane is not winning. So they lose this one here as well. Going back to the Chrono, like a boss, he's still just been sustaining against this Druid. For how long now? Look at these cooldowns coming back. Gravity Well's already returned. Continuum Split is going to be coming up again very soon. Really, you want to start saving these to PvE mode. Use a lot of the high-powered utilities under it all at once. He is slowly getting grinded out. I think if we see that this 1v1 goes anywhere good, it's going to be off of this. Crane's starting to equalize. I mean, they're in a winning position right now. In terms of point score, they're about to equalize, but... I think on the rest of the map, they're doing quite well. The fight is taken to stillness. Both teams have noticed it. Extremely volatile. And Beggar's Bindle once again showing there that when you queue with 5 traps, you hurt the team fights. So they score a triple kill. Massive play from Beggar's Bindle there. And I really think that's the most punishing moment that we've seen for Crane on the entire game. Managed to win the 1v1. The Chrono was doing really bad last we saw, but he actually wins the 1v1. But too late to prevent stillness from going through in the favor of Beggar's Bindle. So the blue team's going to be racing away ahead now because they get double value. Actually, sorry, they're not going to be racing ahead. They're just equalizing right now. And beautiful play here from the Crane Mesmer, actually going for decap. Now this guy's not, he's full duelist mode, he's not actually running portal, so he can't make any really aggressive plays out of that. Beautifully as well, you can see that the Crane Thief is, I would actually say, well positioned, getting that harass on the roads, hopefully allowing his Mesmer to get full cap before anything nasty happens here. This +1 could end very quickly. Signet of Stone has already been popped. Not a good Signet of Stone there really from Die. He's going to need that later. I can understand why he's scared. The Beggar's Bindle Pain Train does start charging in now, though. And if we've seen anything so far, it's that Crane doesn't like these. Oh my god, this Thief is going to walk through the tester phase. I can just feel it. Oh, he could have withdrawn out. That's really painful to see. Moving back over to mid. Crane has managed to zerg the hell out of this node, and they should actually get decap. At least I would hope they will. Let's see, hiding next to the Thumper turret. They certainly do. They've got one of their guys backnoding. This is very good here. This Druid just making... Soul Beast, sorry. Making sure that there's no crosses coming back to their close. With this, Crane once again in the superior position. If they get free cap Stillness, it'll be really nice. This 1v1 between Soul Beast and Warrior is huge. Wasted the point-blank shot. Literally, Crane could have won this game if that point-blank shot had been used at the right moment to knock his opponent down the hole and secure the Stillness cap. Instead, now he's outnumbered. It looks like Beggar's Bindle might get this. He evades off. That's pretty goddamn gross. Does anyone else on the Crane side in position? Yes, they are. We do have the Crane Reaper. We've not been witnessing at all so far. Beautiful position for the Reaper. Consume conditions gets interrupted, though, and obviously... I mean, if the Soul Beast was still here, they could have unloaded a lot of pressure here. Beggar's Bindle taking another Stillness. I think that's 3 Stillnesses in a row that Beggar's Bindle's had there. And Crane just managing to bob their head above the surface. But the problem is now that that last Stillness has gone through. This is a pivotal moment because both of the bars are filling up. These teams are going to be ending at 500 points, and Beggar's Bindle is racing that a lot quicker right now. If Crane's going to get into this, they need to score good neutralizations, and they do! They do, so the Stillness is worth nothing once again because of a good rotation from the Crane Thief, who scores that extremely... He basically just prevented double cap from them. Super strong. Back to the Reaper in mid. This is a 2v3. And Crane is fighting hard in the 2v3. Beggar's Bindle walking right next to the Reaper pressure. Actually, they scored Cleave, so this Reaper now needs to leave. Holding this neutral is extremely good also, though, because Stillness is under effect right now. He's done it for long enough. I would say he could probably bail out. Reaper versus this Mender's support, though. That's also very good for Crane. Crane just needs a few more kills, right? They just need a few more. Let's see how their Thief can deal. The Thief gets the kill on Dusty. We see he goes for the cleave pressure instead of some kind of a stealth shadow step stomp or whatever. Wait, oh my god, he just safe stomped with his passive trait. Did anybody see that? 2,000 IQ plays coming from Zark. I've not even seen any good Thieves pull that off. Beautiful stuff. Unfortunately, it goes down to the Warrior. He's on another level. I thought he was new, but he's clearly better than most of you all. Moving back over here, now with sides in favor of... Beggar's Bindle. Oh my god, the stealth. Okay, no, that was stealth on the other scene. All Beggar's Bindle has to do is hold that 1v1, which they should be perfectly fine doing, and hold this 1v1 for as long as possible. We do have the Corona, who's been doing very strong before, but he's against a Rampage right now on an extremely low health. He needs to get that double heal, continuum split heal, please, for the love of God. He didn't continuum split it. Maybe he's got a more valuable play here, or he's just thinking the mindset of Gravity Well, but it's too little, too late. We're going to see Dusty with Beggar's Bindle, PH Filmer, and so on, going through to the next round. And there you have it, guys. Beautiful stuff. Moving back over to the post-game lobby here, while we wait for the next queue, and we wait for Dusty to do some stuff and get in. Let's see what their enemies were actually up against, right? So, Crane were fielding a roaming Thief, certainly, and you could see the power. Because this roam was uncontested, you see how he's alone in the roaming box? I don't have a cursor set up, right? But because he's alone in that roaming box, you can really tell that... He had a huge advantage, right? They also had a fairly... no, they had a duelist Mesmer. This guy was certainly dueling. So we saw that. We saw they were fielding a Hollow for some damage and a Soul Beast. I would definitely say the Soul Beast was more damage than any kind of roaming. And then they also had a Reaper, right? So this was the comps, actually, as far as you can see. And how can we check this out? I think really... I don't know. How do we actually... how do we now turn this into important analysis? What do you guys think in chat? Help me out here. This is the roles. I don't really dispute where I've put the character names. But what else do we think? So, can our team go through and continue along? I'm watching to see... Yeah, Dusty is ready for his next round here. And I'm just waiting to queue in on that while we're here on the post-game lobby. This was a great host, play-by-play coverage. I think you should do this more often. Thanks very much. I'm slowly getting a little better. Yeah, so I think that seeing the red roamer on his own meant that Crane did very, very well. The red team, Crane, they did extremely well there. Also, I can throw this up, by the way, and show us the actual tournament in the middle. That's kind of cool. Meanwhile, what I think you find, actually, though, is that if you look at the Crane composition, they were very low on duelists. So being low on duelists means that, yes, their roamer got a lot of free reign around the map because he was uncontested as a roamer, but also he didn't necessarily have a ton of opportunities for plussing because the only person he could really comfortably plus was his Chrono in the duelist area. Aside from that, he just had a bunch of damage players like the Reaper, like the Hollow, like the Soul Beast, who were probably just dying a lot. So I don't know, maybe that's got something to do with it. Anyway, guys, let's go back on in here and let's see what the next matchup is for Beggars Bindle. Can they go the distance? Beggars Bindle now are the red team, so they flipped. We can deal with that just fine, though, so don't you guys worry. Beggars Bindle over on the red with the red Quaggan. And let's see what we've got. So if we just throw these guys up, all we have to do, and I set this up properly to do this, all we have to do is just swap their boxes. Actually, we don't even necessarily need to do this. All right, so let's look at the blue team. Very quickly, let's run on through. We first of all have an SD Thief. He's going to be playing in a roaming capacity. We have got a Chrono. He's going to be a duelist. We have, a Revenant. Where's the Revenant? Here, yeah, we got a Revenant. He's just going to be straight up damage, I would say. We have a Firebrand support. He's over here. And finally, they have their Scourge. Pretty good composition, frankly. Lots of damage at the team fight from the blue team. Good mix as well, I think you'll find, of power and Condi for the team fight. They've got a duelist to establish on the nose. They've got support for the team fight, and the blue team has a good rotator here. I think that the Beggars Bindle on the red team this time are going to be struggling a little bit to keep up. Let's see how it goes. We'll watch... yeah, we'll watch Dusty again, right? As the opening splits begin. They're against a very well-rounded, balanced comp. And let's see how it goes. Dusty's team's Ranger is running... So Dusty's actually picking... Oh, no, he's not picking up close. Yeah, he is. Dusty's picking up close. He's running Mender with water. So, the red team, Beggars Bindle, they're taking a 3-point game. You'll notice that they've got their Druid pushing far. He doesn't get on it in time. That's really terrible that he didn't get on that in time. That means there's going to be a long 1v1 where the enemy team gets value out of it. Meanwhile, we have a big mid-fight exploding with the DH, by the way. I've got to watch this. The DH right now has been jumped. He's a full trap DH and he's been jumped on close versus the enemy Mesmer Duelist, and he immediately dies. That is to be expected. I think we're going to find that Beggars Bindle lose on both nodes here, essentially. How does the mid-fight go as well? They've got their warriors still up, but Sylvana is down. Their support is doing the best they can to keep him alive. I think if we actually watch the support's perspective, you'll see that Wendy is maybe playing a little bit too foot heavy on the node and could be a little bit more foot loose. Let PH Vilma die. Wendy really needs to bail out now because they're going to take massive outnumber pressure. So we've just seen Beggars Bindle, all 5 players dead. Some of them even scored some rot value off of. That is a full wipe for the red team and an extremely good opening for the Schoolmasters over on blue with their well-rounded comp that we looked at a second ago. So let's see how Beggars Bindle can get back into this. They're coming out of their spawn. This is a scary map. Being 3-cap like this, their opponents will come immediately up to their spawn and aggress them. So we really want to stay here. Let's watch Dusty and see how he can unload the damage. He's dropping his longbow stuff as best he can. He's probably going to seek to get on the node as fast as possible so that he can drop those traps and grind up the Chrono. Distort has been blown. Here come the traps. The Dragon's Maw misses. He doesn't have his F1 to pull him into the traps at the same time, so that's not necessarily very good. This 2v1 does re-secure Beggars Bindle close, but now the enemies are rotating in. Filmer being utterly destroyed by a Rev. I don't think I've ever seen a Rev break a warrior that fast. What warrior build are we looking at? He's demo. He is Spellbreaker. Unbelievable. Really nasty crunch down from PH Filmer there. Dusty goes down as well. Sylvana extremely low too. They're just being hunted. And meanwhile, one of the other members of Beggars Bindle just making a ditch, last desperate run for it out of their spawn, attempting to go to their enemy's close point. This is actually a good matchup. The SD Thief will take a long time to deal with this Druid. As long as he's... where's all this quickness coming from? Hello? Maybe I just don't understand Druid well enough at the moment, actually. So he gets on the node. The decap probably will go through very soon. SD Thief has to play kind of in an annoying way to not get decapped. Oh, the Druid comes off. Here comes the plus from the enemy Rev. Watch this Rev. The Pain Train is coming. Does Die notice it and get to the boxes in time? It doesn't look like it. The Sword 4 actually did barely any damage. So Beggars Bindle loses on fire. They don't have anything established in mid. They have another respawn. I'm not quite sure what Sylvana will be able to do. Here we have a 2v2 that Dusty and PH Filmer are once again fighting for their lives over. Dusty gets focused on him straight away, probably because the enemy team notices that he's easier to target down. PH Filmer could probably kite off. If he gets around, uses the terrain a little bit better, he can certainly sustain for a while. Full counter, he doesn't get any proc value off of, but at the end of the day, they can attack him during it, so that's a value in and of itself. He kites along. PH Filmer could be moving all the way to the enemy spawn there. I'm not entirely sure. He'll mostly likely just get aggressed on the roads. And we're watching, again, actually, more of Beggars Bindles getting camped on the roads. I think, guys, at this point, with 17 points to one team and 285 to the other, I'm going to go to look at the matchups and we'll see how we go. So, very well played there from the Schoolmasters on all fronts. I didn't see any mistakes from them. And the Schoolmasters looks like who will be following next time. Anyone got any thoughts on that? What could have Beggars Bindle done better? How could they have better utilized their all-trap DH? If anyone wants a build at this point, if you guys want to see a build, let me know. Looking back over here at the lobby, like I said, like just look at that blue team, right? They have such immense damage. They've got a bit of roaming capacity. They've got a bit of dueling capability. I actually messed up a little bit here, by the way. I don't know how I messed this up, but Wendy is playing support, so sorry about that. I think Wendy's playing support. Let's actually have a look. Yeah, this is Wendy's build here. Oh, this is much better than this morning, isn't it? What's with the smoldering sigil, by the way? I actually don't understand this. What's going on with the sigils? What's going on with the Condi sigils? Hello? Shouldn't you run, like, purging and shit? Energy, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so this is Wendy's build here. And it's a support build, right? So, yeah. It's actually a perfect matchup. This one should be really good for the lobby because what you can see is they're both fielding the same slots. You got a Chrono V Warrior on the duelist front. Oh, actually, I've got Filmer. This isn't right. I've messed a lot of this up, haven't I? How have I got Filmer as a roamer? PH Filmer would have been damage. Oh, I've definitely messed this up. There's something about this that I did wrong. I'll have to watch the VOD to figure out exactly what it is and when and how. But, like, there's definitely something wrong here. Because this isn't right. They're all out of position, aren't they? Most of them are. That's the actual red team comp. That's how the red team played. I must have dicked something up somehow. Oh, I think I realized what it is. It means that something is not as simple as I thought it would have been. But oh well. That's fine. I keep getting urges to get into PvP. I find a build I enjoy playing, and then after about 5 days, I'm completely done because of the toxicity and childishness of other players. How do you put up with this? Well, I find that the game's a lot more toxic in the lower bands. And at the start of seasons, people are just like complete lunatics. But if you play sort of just during generic times, I think that it's not like that at all, and it's actually a lot of fun. I could also just recommend to you to turn chat off. That's all you have to do, really. Just turn chat off, and you'll be fine. So anyway, we do see now that the blue team is going through to the next round. Congratulations there to the Schoolmasters. We'll be watching their progression throughout the rest of the tournament. I think that secures them a spot in semis. I hope you guys on stream had fun. I really like that you guys are actually playing. It's a shame you don't have a cool guild name to roam in with just yet. But we'll keep an eye out on them as time goes by. It looks like they don't actually have a queue just yet. It looks like. Oh, no, the Schoolmasters. They're right here, right? Yeah. Here you go. So we'll watch for the Schoolmasters and... Oh, I just totally... broke there something. Yeah, I just broke it all because I just took a screenshot. Ignore the UI, it's fine, it's not a problem right now. I just pressed the wrong F key. Can I show the Rev build? Sorry, too late. Sorry. I'm not too good at chat. The overlays are really nice. Great work, thanks. Yeah, thanks very much. Again, I'm still looking for feedback, by the way, guys. Especially if you came to earlier stream. Oh, I'll just tell you. Oh, no, I won't because I broke the thing. Oh, yes, I will. I'll just show you, right? The idea here is... the thing I settled with in the end was I got rid of the categories idea. So it's just damage, support, duelists, and roamers. And I started listening. One of the people in chat was saying, why are you so desperate to have a designation, draw a line between like Hollow builds and Scourge builds and stuff. And I think they're right. You don't have to draw that hard of a line. So yeah, I've just done this. Vaguely, loosely speaking, you can see the large team engagements are represented on the left 2 boxes. And you can see rotational capacity and sides on the right 2 boxes. But yeah, so that's actually what I went with there. I also culled away... it just looked really messy. So basically, also, the way I'm showing you the teams, I'm doing it through the top left and the top right now. But that looks messy as hell, so I added like a mask with like paint and stuff so that it doesn't look terrible, because it would have looked terrible otherwise. And yeah, that's it really. That's all I did. Yeah, you tried, Dusty. I think you guys did good. How do you feel as well, PH Filmer? Why is the duelist section split up horizontally? Just because it's very easy for us to speculate. You know, we can say that the top is one of the sides and the bottom is one of the other sides. So, and I did have text on there saying blue spawn, red spawn before, but there's no point, right? Like, so it basically just means we can even more accurately predict matchups based on saying, okay, one of the side nodes will probably see a druid mirror, and on the other one we'll probably see a warrior mirror or whatever, depending on the teams and how that actually goes. Does that make sense? All right, I just clicked a game. I might have clicked the wrong one. I'm going to watch very closely here. No, it's the correct one. So, yeah, we're about to go live here, guys. Let's see what the teams are. I'll get through this nice and quick. Schoolmasters, once again, are on the blue team. So, let's just place them all down. We all know their builds. I don't think that they've swapped their comp up in any way. Oh, they have. Unless, is this a different Schoolmasters? Are there 2 Schoolmasters? No, there's not 2 Schoolmasters. So this is the team. So what's happened to my UI? Why is it now a rev in the duelist section? Were they red last time? And they have support. There's something going on that I don't quite fully understand. I think it's the same comp though. So all we have to do is just do this, right? And there you go. So that's their comp. Looking quickly over at the red team. What do we have? We've got a druid who's a duelist. We got a SD thief roaming. We've got a rev packing the punches. We got a scrapper who also is damage, I guess. We count that as damage, right? Or at least team fighter. And then finally we have another duelist, Mesmer, actually. So red team foregoing a support in exchange for another duelist. Let's see how they go. So this is Ranger Danger, guys, the red team that we're watching on the opening here, taking a heavy push to far. As you can see, they've dedicated their Ranger to close. They've got a single scrapper going to sustain mid, and in the meantime they're seeking to blow things up over here on far. They have been their crossplay has been watched and matched, and in fact their rev is taking the heat for it. This rev over here right in front of his enemy team spawn is taking big pressure. It's only going to take a second for him to die. He still has his staff cooldowns, but they are not the be-all and end-all. He's basically out now. We do see this is a rev mirror, by the way. The other rev actually slams him down, so excellent stuff there from the Schoolmasters. Their rev manages to put down the Ranger Danger rev, and it looks like this cross to far was not a good idea, particularly because, looking back at mid here for a second, the Scrapper wasn't able to sustain against 5-round Scourge. They get the res right at the last second. That's beautiful. Was it too costly in terms of cooldowns, though? Because as you can see here, Twitty, the red thief, SD thief, does actually go down as well. They score another res. That res was actually on a rally. They won a rally race. I'm not sure how they actually won that. Beautiful little kiting going on over here as well. Check out Sir Clones a lot moving around the side. The Schoolmaster's rev is extremely low over here. He's watching carefully and making sure that he moves in at the right time. But he seems to actually be getting pressured pretty goddamn hard. Watching the Ranger Danger teammates, they're so low right now, honestly, guys. If you look at Larry PE, he's very low. He is a scrapper, so, I mean, he can sustain himself reasonably well. But he goes down. He now can't offer support for his rev. The rev goes for the res. Gormless Hero also going for the res. Was there a search and rescue there? I think he even stealthed the body. They've scored so many reses, guys. And once again, Ranger Danger scores another kill. What is that? 4 deaths and 4 rally/reses for Ranger Danger. Ranger Danger doing extremely well. And now they've got massive numbers here. Amazingly, though, you've probably noticed on the rest of the map, the Schoolmasters have spent their time capping their enemy's close point and continuing to fight well at mid. So all of these like clutch plays that Ranger Danger's made, it's cost such a heavy investment. Finally, they start looking at the rest of the map, as so do we here watching the cast. You'll notice that Ranger Danger has the early kill point score, but having lost double cap, they're going to be getting chased away now. The Druids just walks in and gets Condi bombed immediately, utilizes his CA stealth to try and pull away for a second. He just wants to hold the 2 of them here for as long as possible. Schoolmasters are having none of that, and Veronica rotates off instantly, which is very smart. If Veronica gets here and stops Twitty getting decapped, this is going to be so good. Let's watch from Twitty's perspective here. Twitty does score the decap. This now puts Veronica in a horrible position, 2v1 as a support. All you're going to do is just get grounded down for a few more seconds of neutralization time. Gormless Hero, though, dies, so any mistake that comes in from Veronica is immediately matched from a mistake from Gormless Hero. Moving back to far, you can see Ranger Danger have really cared about having this node. It's hard to hold the far point. It really is. And they've been going for it for a long time, but they're now starting to eat a lot of pressure. Scrapper can't do any kind of res play. He might have a function gyro in there. He doesn't. He jumps immediately off of this archway, which probably was a little bit panicky. Can he use the elixir gun to pull himself away? He does get a nice little play there. Doesn't drop his super elixir. This kiting is next level, guys. This is good kiting right now. He's got his druid with him. The druid could go for a quick res, but full cap has now gone through on the nodes. And Ranger Danger are basically just messing around here. Like, they've been treating this node as mid. But this isn't mid. This is their enemy's spawn. And it's like so easy to kite around on here. I just don't think any kind of long-term engagement was ever a good idea from Ranger Danger. Maybe they know something that I don't. And they're just going to continue fighting that. They are getting... Actually, hold on. Let's not leave this fight just yet, because it looks like they are getting them quite low. Black Aki goes down. Their other target, Kayov, over there from the Schoolmasters, is so low that he tries to bail out. Twitty gets the beautiful jump on him as he leaves. So Ranger Danger wins that and gets great rot value here. Their Skirmisher looks towards any opportunities they can take in mid, but it looks like Ranger Danger won that one as well. So, Ranger Danger taking a distant 2 cap. The 2 nodes far away from their team. We'll watch whether this Scrapper gets debunked at any point. He is going to have respawns coming in on him. Twitty looking just for the aggression on far. I don't know whether this was absolutely necessary. I'd probably be on beach at the moment if I were him, aggressing people. But he pulls their attention. So Clones a Lot gets on respawn. And because they're so desperate to kill Twitty, so Clones a Lot gets the decap. Great little decap there from Ranger Danger. Honestly, not a great play from Ranger Danger so much as a terrible play from the Schoolmasters. Letting that happen, getting distracted by the thief so heavily. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. So we have the 2 roamers going toe-to-toe in the roads. Rocking that Chook and Chumpawat, by the way, which is the premium thief longbow. That's right, longbow. And so we actually see this takes a little bit more to the mid-fight. Schoolmaster's also another rookie mistake. Okay, so they do actually look to get the cap now. Twitty could have taken up and punished them for that, though, and he really kind of needs it so that his team can stay in it. Instead, I think he's a little bit more focused on taking the fight. Beautiful Ghastly Breach goes down there, putting a lot of cleave down on Ranger Danger. And we see that they actually start to drop. So Clones a Lot from Ranger Danger is low. Gormless Hero is kind of low. They've got a downstate. Their Skirmisher can only do so much. Finally gets on the node and he punishes them with a decap. I really like to see this. That's exactly the way he could have been playing the entire game. So yeah, he manages to take that. Ranger Danger do lose 2 of their players, though. You will notice that over on far, the Scrapper, remember we left him here? He's just been getting beaten up this entire time, and now he goes down. Again, excellent roaming here from Twitty. Finally, he goes in. Another high-value decap. Like if he doesn't go for full cap here, this is very strong. He can go and reinforce his allies. I thought he might go for full, though. I think that going for full is very risky. He's against a portal. It's going to take ages for his respawning Scrapper. Ranger Danger's red Scrapper, Larry PE here, to get all the way over to that node. And in fact, he gets waylaid at beach. And what does that mean? That means that Twitty is stuck in a really nasty 1v1. In fact, he's been plussed in his 1v1 as well here too. And that has actually turned into basically a 3 cap against his team. We will see probably that the blue close gets full capped here. Larry gets on at the last... Look at these last second node plays, actually, to be honest. Larry gets on, so he's going to chill that for a while. That's actually now good for Ranger Danger. Schoolmaster's just sort of pressuring them on the roads here. Again, I think that this is kind of cool, actually. They're getting so baited by this SD Thief so often that other members of their team are just getting these free caps. Let's go back to Ranger Danger's spawn and watch this 1v1, which looks like it's coming to a clone here. Close here with Sir Clones-a-lot in his mirror. Actually, this isn't a mirror. He's just dying to SD. Oh my god, what build is this? Demo? This is Sword Demo Mesmer losing to SD 1v1. I wonder if that's just really good SD play there or what. And at this node where you can climb around so much. Hello? All right, so anyway, he gets the plus from Twitty. Twitty really doing very well. The past several minutes, we've seen this excellent. That plus, even though it doesn't manifest in a kill, it saves his ally's life. It ensures that they'll get cap. Twitty really should be looking at the mid node now because he knows that there's one place that his opposing Thief is going to be going towards, and it's here at Keep. He does look for that, even gets the early port through. That's exactly the kind of plays I like to see. In fact, he got such a nice meaty start there. Really expert use of the sword too. Oh, what a fun SD little fight here. Twitty could hammer this out at the last little second, the blinding powder. Okay, so he does score the kill. He's been plussed by the Rev. Excellent little jump here from the Schoolmasters. They obviously don't want to get the node. They just want to make sure that their teams are alive. They do get the res. So Clones-a-lot has now claimed his close. So Ranger Danger has more pressure here at mid. Twitty's going to be stinging a little bit there for that quick little kill. Schoolmaster's going down at the back of Keep. This is very, very good for Ranger Danger. You're watching Ranger Danger come back in it. If they can stop this stomp, if they can go through, the chaotic release goes over the body. They didn't stop the stomp, actually. If they'd got the kill value there, look at Ranger Danger on the board right now. 2 cap, and they're managing to successfully troll far with their scrapper, right? So that's so excellent. Let's watch how the Ranger Danger Rev does under this hellish pressure. Okay, so again, like they've just lingered and they didn't quite team fight well enough. And they've probably lost this. It doesn't look like there's going to be a rally race. Oh my god, the res coming in! These reses are insane! I would hate to be the Schoolmasters in this game. These goddamn reses and rallies. Oh, so annoying. We saw an excellent little play here, by the way. Schoolmasters go, they get a neutralization. They even score a kill on the road, a downstate on the road. So that's really excellent. Twitty is left twisting in the winds a little bit too late. And he's even been pressured so hard that he's actually on the defense. When you have a mirror like this with Thieves, the one that gets burst hardest, earliest, kind of has to play so much more defensively. They're extremely unfavored in the fight until they get a really good opportunity to reset. And there you can see even the Rev working magic by taking the plus on the roads. Scrapper's still doing super well. I mean, Larry is... The thing is, right, do you want to play a Scrapper? I mean, what value is he getting from his function gyro here? None. You may as well play Druid, mate. If this is the role you're going to play, if this is what you want to do, or a Spellbreaker. But he's doing well, so, I mean, maybe there's a bit of a compositional question there. Maybe they just really like the Scrapper. But I think that he should be getting more value out of his elite specialization by pushing rotations where he has friends. Moving over here, we can see that the Schoolmaster's still slamming out the odd kill. And you'll notice the Schoolmaster, if we had kill counters here, guys, you'd actually see the Schoolmasters have scored probably like 5 kills over Ranger Danger right now, and that's why they're in the lead. It's because they've just got that little bit more of an edge. The two teams are actually very well matched up, but because of these little concessions that are being made by Ranger Danger again and again and again, it's keeping them slightly behind. That said, they do have a 200-point cap to close with Beasts. You never know. Double Beast would close this gap very substantially. Let's see how tightly Schoolmasters hold onto their 2-cap here. They could just play a very sturdy 2-cap game here. You actually see this Scourge that just came to aggress the Ranger Danger Revenant. That blue Scourge has just been sitting about at mid, and I think that's absolutely the right play right now. They can play conservatively because their win conditions just to hold this double cap for a little bit longer and let their Thief just rotate between the 2 nodes. So down goes the Rev without any support. I think that was... and then here we go again! Another res? Is this going to be another res? Okay... He's got the pet on in. The search and rescue is still going. The pet was interrupted by the enemy support's Tome F1 skill 3, which interrupted it. I need to learn those Tome skills so that I can say them to you quickly. Meanwhile, you'll actually see a conservative play coming from Ranger Danger here. Perhaps he's just given up. This is absolutely a losing play. Sitting about on close. Now these guys have to play ballsy. They have to play ballsy. They have to get out. At least go for a beast or something, right? I know he's scared of being neutralized, but if you think about it, if blue team's playing well, the risk of being neutered here could be a little bit lower depending on how conservatively their Thief decides to rotate. And it looks like their Thief is rotating conservatively. That said, he does go down to Twitty. Twitty scoring a lot of great kills. Roma v Roma, right? But because the Schoolmasters are just in that little bit of a better position each time, I think they're getting more reses out of it. And that's saying something considering how many Ranger Dangers got this game. Basically, we're watching Ranger Danger here, desperately trying to get onto the node. They need to aggress that. It has to be decap. Decap over here on blue spawn or bust. That is the answer. The Schoolmasters just need to hold it. You'll see that slowly they pull it further and further back down here. And they've got such a good cushion, such a good lead, that the odds are extremely low. Let's watch Larry once again as he valiantly continues to kite and fight around on this node as a scrapper. And I think you will find, guys, that the Schoolmasters will take this. Is there any odds for neutralization coming in? Look at the respawns, right? We've even got a respawning Schoolmaster Scourge coming. This is going to be so nasty from this Scourge here. Look at this Scourge. This is exactly what he wants. A downstate over the node, everybody clustering around it. It's just beautiful. So yeah, Schoolmasters bunking that super heavily. By the way, they did have their revs still alive, putting just that little bit of extra harass out here. This is good as well, because this is actually a defensive play. He keeps the red team over here instead of in his spawn. And Schoolmasters take the win very comfortably. Well, not very comfortably. It was a good game. It was a good game, and hard fought from both teams. But like I said, look at all the skulls on the Schoolmasters versus how few there are on the red team, right? So Ranger Danger did very well. I want to take another look here, by the way, at the pre-game lobby. Let's leave the queue, sorry. Because I want to show you guys something. What I want to show you is how this scrapper we'd put as like a damage thing we would expect to fight in the team, okay? We'd expect to maybe support some allies with the Function Jar. We actually saw the scrapper was trying to duel all game. Basically pushed far. So they were playing almost like a 3-point cap, right? Where they had this Mesmer back noding. We saw even right at the end. We saw the Druid trying to just pick any opportunity they can and being at mid more than anything else. And yeah, we saw it was a 3-point game because we saw Larry actually just constantly dueling over on far. And I think that they might have lost it on that. I mean, I'm not trying to shit talk or whatever, but I think they might have. Because look at how strong Ranger Danger now comes on the left side of the screen. Look at this. Look at this mid-fight. Look how much swing potential they have. So I don't know. Also, we saw this matchup here is just Sweeplex versus Twitty. That was really fun to see, actually. They had a lot of rotating around one another. And I think we saw Twitty. If anything, actually, Twitty came out on top. Twitty played better in the roaming role there. But a little bit more let down by his team, I suppose. So there you have it. I keep pressing the wrong hotkeys, so this overlay is going to break now. But there you have it, guys. Let's just turn those off. Any 4-rev meme dream team today? You can't remember which region that was. This has actually been a really small EU Prime. This is not the same as yesterday's. I think Thursday's EU Prime was a lot more exciting, actually. Yeah, thank you very much for the comment there, Deadzella. If anybody has any further feedback on iteration 2 of the lobby, let me know. Why are the Ellie skills there? That's because I'm playing an Elementalist in game. You can ignore those. Look, ignore. Shh, they're not there. Look, it's fine. Grant's game. Oh my god! Oh, look at the fucking plays that I can make here. Oh my god. The potential, guys. The potential is unreal. All right. So we're looking now at Kylo for the finals. I do enjoy me a Kylo finals. We're looking at the Schoolmasters returning, and they're going to be taking out Dragon's Despair. So let's see how the matchups go. Very quickly rolling through the Schoolmasters first of all, and we'll see how they played. So we know their builds. They have a Scourge. They have Jesui in the roaming capacity. They have Veronica as a support. They have a Mesmer for the duels, and they have a Rev. Okay, so we know their build, we know their composition. Let's take a look now at the red team. So first we've got Bullet ASAP, who is playing a Rev. We're going to put him as a team fighter for now. We can maybe put him into more of a rotation slot if we feel that they actually deserve that. They have a Warrior dueling. We have 2 players, the 2 hot boxes. One of them on a Bursty Guardian. Where is his... Oh, he's under there. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it, son. Anyway, so yeah, he's going to be... I'll actually put him... He's kind of roamy. I don't know. We'll have him as damage, though. We'll have him as damage. Oh, my God. They're actually right. They're fielding 2. They're fielding 2 Bursty Guardians. Let's put one of them as a roamer. And then finally, they have a Reaper. Hello. Respect to the Reaper. We're looking at Ace on Reaper here, guys. So no formal support on their team whatsoever. Extremely high pressure. Red team here, very, very high pressure. Keep a close eye on Dragon's Despair because they're going to be unloading the damage here. Let's watch the Schoolmasters, though, who we've been watching for quite a while, taking an eye on their Rev as we open up the game. Schoolmasters sending their Mesmer to close to cap, Jewel, and portal it. Meanwhile, Dragon's Despair sends their Warrior to close, which is exactly what we'd expect. That's the only duelists, essentially, on each team that we were talking about. And we've got the mid-fight exploding here. So we're going to see this Rev, like, completely get nuked by these Guardians. Rev comes to a beautiful no-port spot. Really like that. He's scared of Judge's intervention and crazy burst. Look at it. Look at the burst already came out. Incredible stuff here. So Safa immediately dies. Black Aki immediately dies as well. Oh, my God. The Schoolmaster's getting absolutely destroyed here by this devastating double burst guard combo with the Reaper to cleave over the bodies. Schoolmaster's getting absolutely so wrecked. Good play here from the Rev to attempt to survive here. He goes for the heal instead of the phase. Oh, wait, hold on. What? I think he has his skills reordered. So, extremely punishing fight opening up here with the bad manners from Dragon's Despair. As they sweep mid. So Dragon's Despair, just to be clear, having their close because they weren't aggressed, winning that mid fight very easily. We're watching here as we go through the sky. Dragon's Despair pushing over to the Schoolmasters spawn. Schoolmasters on a little bit of a down foot because they're still waiting for their guys to re-engage and respawn here. And let's see how they can do well. We're watching Black Aki, who got burst very hard a second ago. Big crunch happening on the road here. Lots of traps and things down. Manages to get a beautiful evade through the unrelenting assault there. These guys need to know the terrain extremely well to be able to fight here. He goes down. And what of the support? Actually, he's not even running support anymore. Wasn't this guy running support before? Why would they field a DH? They decided to field a DH when they really need some sustain to counter this burst. Maybe they reasoned that the best way to fight burst is to have some pressure of your own. But to field this as a DH, I'm pretty sure he wasn't before, was he? Maybe it was a complete reswap, actually, of the spec. But you'll notice here that actually Schoolmasters are pretty spread out right now. Saphira is definitely going to die. Got the Reaper and the Rev pressure on them, so down they go there, completely alone. Meanwhile, the rest are still caught over at their spawn. They do still hold it. Wait, what the hell? When did this happen? When did the neutralization from the Schoolmasters come through? God, I'm bad at this. That's amazing. I can't believe they actually managed to get that. So they're losing it again because they're also low on health, but, you know, it's a good start at least. Let's see how this Rev manages to kite away. Again, I hate seeing them die to burst when they still have evade frames available. Look at this pressure, though. Look how quickly they die. What do you do against a composition like this? They're not even... The Dragon's Despair aren't even going for neutralization. They're just out for blood. One of them had an easy opportunity a second ago, and they just didn't go for it. Moving on, the Chrono is trying to bail out as best possible, utilizing portals, utilizing everything they possibly can. If they can get up onto the wall, they might be able to do something. If he's trying to blink up there, I think he went for a phase retreat blink in a place where I'm not even sure that it's actually possible. More respawning Schoolmasters coming out here. Finally, they secure a kill. And you'll watch how very closely, right, how they're not stomping that. They do not want these stomps. Basically, as soon as the red team stops being together and getting coordinated team fights like that, they can be picked off individually and alone. And so they want to get as much value as possible. Dragon's Despair, sorry, Schoolmasters taking sides. Schoolmasters are more than in this game, and it's because someone has been playing excellently on sides. I'm guessing it's the SD Thief that I've not been watching well enough. I do apologize for that, guys. I'll get better at this. But the SD Thief has totally been rotating around, securing back caps, and even full caps in some situations. Even as I speak, we can see that Dragon's Despair are actually down a player. And they're starting to get punished. Another one of them goes down. Beautiful kill here from the Schoolmasters Rev. They're cleaving over it. This Reaper's just come in. Reaper's going for res instead of counter pressure. Okay, so the Reaper scores the kill, but just after Hotbox went down, so that wasn't a rally race. That was actually favorable for Dragon's Despair. Another kill. Look at these kills going down. He's going to probably blink up now. Look at this crazy pressure that they're going to get over this. The Sword Fall lands for 10k. Oh my god, the Schoolmasters are really starting to wreck now. And you'll notice the stagger on the Dragon's Despair side. The red team, now that they're staggered, aren't doing very well. So this is excellent. Let's watch as well. Oh, he just went down. This SD Thief was playing pretty goddamn ballsy over here on this side of the map. He did secure the neutralization. If he got away, that would have been really nice. But obviously, he was pounded out by this heavy burst pressure that he's against. FaZe over here scoring another kill on the roads. keeping these revs down. The combo on Dragon's Despair of having the double bursty guards plus the rev is just insane. And a Reaper over it. Christ almighty. So we're actually, just to re-establish what we're looking at here, Schoolmasters having double cap, having had double cap for quite a while, having had some wicked 6 roams. This SD Thief who died on fire is moving in to help pressure and swing this fight. Even better, if he scores this kill with a Shadow Step, it looks like he will, we could see him take a decap on his enemy's node now. And yeah, look, he's going to use these 15 seconds. No, he's not. He's going to keep fighting. All right, well, that's fine. His ally goes down. I mean, I don't know whether there's actually anything that you can really do here. But Schoolmaster's decidedly in the lead here. And I think it's just because they've been rotating very well. Let's watch it from the red team's perspective. And let's see how Dragon's Despair can maybe get back into the game. With one of the DHs coming out of their spawn right now, looking to make some plays. So, having owned their close, they're going to be looking to either win the mid fight or split their opponent. Like, look at this team fight over here. Look at this. Look, 3 Dragon's Despair players. And he's plussing it. He's coming in. So, Dragon's Despair actually took mid. And now they're looking for the burst and the crazy damage here. If Dragon's Despair wipes here, if the red team wipes in this fight, it would be really punishing for them. But if they win this fight, they've essentially just aced their opponents. They have. Look at this. So many kills going down. This chase here on this SD Thief. This is the last member of the Schoolmasters to actually be alive. Judge's Intervention isn't available. Symbol of Blades is not available. And, but some of the other play, can you believe this? Look at this. 2 of them just blinking over. We had the Rev, what was that? Rev and the other core guard getting up and just slapping him down while he's in mid. So, my God, absolutely lots of back and forth going on here. Dragon's Despair now taking their 2 cap. You can see that this guy, Reckless, actually backnoding essentially for his team. He's the one guy that can sustain some kind of a duel scenario. So, he's probably the guy you'd expect to be backnoding. And now they just go for 5 players to continue blowing up the Schoolmasters right on the Schoolmasters' doorstep. They have the 3 cap and they're looking to sustain it. On terms of points, in terms of map control, they are actually winning very well right now. Ace goes down though. Ace going down's pretty bad. Oh, and the rally race is won. Ace being a Reaper can then immediately go into Shrouds. Scores the... Oh my God, that was actually really close. So much focus came in on this Reaper, but because all the other players burst him down. What's with all this bad manners? What is going on here? So yeah, look at the number advantage. We've got 5 extremely aggressive Dragon's Despair players farming, and this is no exaggeration right now, farming the Schoolmasters. The Schoolmasters actually being farmed on their own spawn. So let's see how the Schoolmasters can get back out of it, and they've realized already you don't keep Zerging close. You group up. There's a 3-man group up here. They spread across. They're actually playing across all 3 here, and I think that's really nice to see, especially if they get the neutralization here from Jesui. He did get neutralization because they got to split the opponents up. That's how they got back on the board a second ago, and that's how they'll do it again here. So look at these double masterful neutralizations. They're scoring, they're losing some manpower, though, in doing so. So with Black Aki going down again, that doesn't feel very good.
Did you see that?
The other respawning Schoolmasters are looking to neutralize this as fast as possible, really. I mean, I know they want the kill. I know that the kills are really important here. But one of these 2 Schoolmasters should have been at that node. Every individual little point counts right now as we see that the Dragon's Despair gets so close to actually winning the game. Neutralization doesn't land in time. Phase as well, you'll notice, just ported off. So we got a 2v2 here. Actually, so Dragon's Despair pluses this. Dragon's Despair should win this. If they don't, it would be really gross. But like over-rotating, this essentially secures them the loss. Having to outnumber at the end of the game is awful. You have to be able to fight on even terms. You have to get elsewhere. So neutralization lands on both sides. Where was Jesui to be able to get this final neutralization? Unfortunately, he's down being jumped on. And because he can't make that, we see that Dragon's Despair gets on, and all they have to do is sit here. More kill points. That was a ton of kills, guys. That's probably the most kills since I've been practicing casting you've seen in a game. That was a lot of kills. Look at this. Look at this! I mean, blue team scored some, sure. But look at this rocket just taking off just through pure kill power here. It's mental. So what's the best way to counter that? Let's go back to the... so that was the finals as well. I believe that was the finals. Oh, no, it wasn't the finals. Oh, that was semis. Cool, guys. So we get another game. All right, I told a lie then. We get another game. Unless I was already in there. No, because we were watching the Schoolmasters versus Dragon's Despair. We're now going to see Dragon's Despair versus one of the Beggars Bindles. So yeah, that was semis. Ooh, this is getting really good. I'm happy now because Dragon's Despair have such like a well-defined, obvious like comp and style to their game. It'll be really fun to see this final and see how they go up against another group. So let me ask you this, Twitch chat: how do you fight against that kind of comp? Let's hear it. What are your ideas, and what perhaps could the Schoolmasters have done a little bit better here? So going back to the lobby, let's see how the matchups were looking. And let me get my auto clicker running. So yeah, let's see what we got here. I mean, I don't even know whether our formal roles work here. Here's actually what you saw. I'm not even lying to you. You saw 4 damage. Oh, I had this messed up. This is what you actually saw. This right here. You saw Dragon's Despair have it fielding 1 guy to back node, 1 guy to have some kind of sustaining engagement, and then everyone else was crazy damage. They had a bursty Revenant, they had 2 bursty Core Guards, and they had a Reaper. That's what you were actually looking at. Kylo's a great map for that comp as well. You even saw it in action because they can blink through terrain with the targeted abilities. Like, that's so strong at CT. CT is the only node that offers a lot of kiting around, but it's kiting around that is nearly all port legal. It's not all port legal, and we didn't actually see that the Schoolmasters took any advantage there. But yeah, I think that alone was pretty huge. 5 Ventari revs count as that. Play meta and don't suck. Well, let's look at the blue team. You say play meta and don't suck. I see a lot of meta stuff here. I see Firebrand Scourge combo. I see a Dueling Chrono. I see a rotating SD Thief who made more plays than anyone else that game. And the only thing I see off meta is their rev. Their choice of going for a rev instead of going for... let's see. And that's the 5th slot, right? That rev, that is the 5th slot there. It's what do they want to double up on? Do they want to take a Spellbreaker, double up on the Druids, on the Duelist? Do they want to take a Ranger, double up on the Duelist? Do they want to field a second Scourge? We see some people actually still try that. Like... It's not that the Schoolmasters aren't running meta, and we saw that the Schoolmasters played 2 very, very good games earlier. 5 Dragon Hunter Trappers. That's how you counter it, is it? That's how you counter it. Oh, you're right. It was Dragon Hunter, not Firebrand. You're right, actually. You are right. My mistake there. It was Dragon Hunter, actually. So we were looking at this, actually. You are correct. You're 100% correct. I forgot about that. Because I think he swapped, right? So that's actually what we were looking at matchup-wise. No support from either team. And here's the, the roles tell the start of the story, but, you might look at that and think, well, hold on, maybe the Schoolmasters should have been able to out-rotate really well. But the truth is that Core Guard and Rev, they have reasonable mobility when it's into aggressive scenarios, because they can port 2 things, right? They can use phase traversal, Judge's intervention and stuff. So you might look, at first glimpse, it might look like that game revolved around one very rotationally slow group winning the fights, and we just needed to see more come out of the Roma. But really, realistically, the only genuinely slow players on the red team were their Duelist, which is conducive to his role, and the Reaper. Those other 3 bursty badasses, they can get around pretty quick. And again, like I said, Kylo is actually the smallest in terms of play space map in the game. Like, if you think about port, you can almost port from near to far on that map. It's very different to a lot of the others. Oh, this is a fun game, though. For the finals here, this is pretty cool. We're looking at Skyhammer. Now, why this is fun is because Skyhammer is full to the brim with juicy no ports, everybody. No ports! Ooh, so I'm going to redo that because I want the Beggar's Bindle to appear there. So with the no ports, we could see Beggar's Bindle, who have fought hard and got here to the finals. We could see that they, come on, where's the thing? I'm so sad that this is broken. This will be my last attempt, but we have to go to the lobby in a second, so. There we go. They've appeared now. But yeah, they've appeared. So we could see that Dragon's Despair, who's now over on the blue side, they actually do quite well. So let's quickly establish the Dragon's Despair builds. Who are Rev, Guard. I'm actually going to place them exactly as I said a second ago, with the Reaper and the Duelist. That's their comp. Literally, that's it. There you go. They're done. So meanwhile, let's have a little bit of a look at the red team. First of all, starting with Mean Hype. who is running SD Thief. He's going to be roaming around. Next, we have a Demo Mesmer. He's going to be playing in that Duelist slot. He's running the Portal too, so he'll be kind of rotation heavy. They're also running another Duelist by the way of a Rampage Spellbreaker. So they got one for near, one for far. They're playing a third Duelist by way of Avatar Druid. And then finally, they have a Rev for a bit of damage. So no formal support coming from the red team. It's got them this far. Is the support going to do much against this Pain Train? Well, I guess we'll have to see. We're going to watch, starting with the team that we saw before. And that is going to be Dragon's Despair. Let's watch as they go out the gate.
Hold on to your points. Seize
Who do you guys want to watch, Rev or Core Guard? I guess we'll watch Core Guard because we don't watch Core Guard too much. So let's watch this one. They send their Warrior Duelist to their close point. Warrior's picking up both closes. Here's the 4v5. The 4v4, sorry. They drop the ring just in case they get aggressed. Immediate usage of no port here. Beautiful stuff. So they're hiding underneath because they know they can judge his intervention up. There's lots of stealth at play right now, so Dragons Despair don't actually know what's going on. Little do they realize. So they take a burst there. Oh my god, that coordinated burst was so nice. The Druid manages to get away, but little do Dragons Despair know that the Beggar's Bindle have actually pushed very aggressively into their Warrior very, very, very fast. And they almost made some plays there. But, so they actually managed to kill him down here. So they managed to fend that aggression off with a really nice early kill. I love the way this group plays. I really do. It's really fun to watch, actually. So now they take the pressure. They get countered by a portal, so that's really nice. The only player that's still on nearby in terms of big damage is this guy. The Reaper got slaughtered somewhere. I'm not sure where the Reaper died. The Reaper died up here on the road. So the Reaper of Dragon's Despair not going back to point A to counter the Beggar's Bindle kind of left him alone. Now this guy gets countered and is pressured out alone. We're seeing a bit of a stagger coming in on the Dragon's Despair right now. More kill points available to Beggar's Bindle because they've actually been getting those slap downs, so that's pretty good. Watching the Duelist Warrior here, just seeing what kind of opportunities he can make for his allies. They have actually been double capped against, so we're watching Dragon's Despair now. Really needs to actually sustain something. Their Reaper is taking massive pressure. He's bailing away, but without a formal support. I mean, I think Reaper's very good, but I think with a formal support, it's got all this, like, health and cushion, which is great opportunity for, like, a Firebrand to cleanse and pump boons and stuff. But without that, it's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world. I think they're mostly using this for just cleaving over the bodies here. So he manages to bail out, and he doesn't actually die here, but his allies have taken the pressure instead. Reckless, namely, as you can see here. So they go the Rampage. They actually comboed the Rampage with the Death Shroud there. Oh my god, the double kill. This is really huge. That's from one of the Core Guards with his sword too. And with those kills, we can see that Schoolmasters managed to take mid. They've been countered on their own close point by a Beggar's Bindle Mesmer, who's probably ported between the two nodes. Let's click him and check. Yes, so he'll be porting back soon enough. So we actually see Dragon's Despair have a distant 2-cap now. They've got their enemy spawn, and they have point B. And now they're just fighting one another on the roads. The Reaper is caught out of position. He's being aggressed extremely hard. They're getting as good as they give on this game, which we didn't see on the semis. Here comes the cleave over the body. If they can just get that through, they'd never managed to cleave it. The Spectral Graft's going to Shroud, for the love of God. Why would you heal? Shroud was so good there if he used that straight away because he could have started crunching the health down. I suppose he had cooldowns while he was actually in Shroud. But now they're starting to get the counter kills. A huge burst on the Beggar's Bindle Thief there, who just utterly gets melted. That Spectral Grasp was hilarious. And so they actually scored another kill as well. So brilliantly done here from Dragon's Despair. Starting to get their kill value back. They still own the territory. They have just been neutralized right at the last second. They were neutralized by a Beggar's Bindle Warrior. So we have the Duelists fighting it out on far. This doesn't look volatile, but it is, because both of the other teams have got a lot of pressure and plussing potential. And you're going to watch a plus come in a second. Ryusta is going to get jumped. Oh, no, he's not. He's not going to get jumped. The Core Guards decided to go elsewhere, so that's fine. Hammer is up, by the way, so let's see how the Hammer fight's going. Free cap for the red team. They don't necessarily... Oh, okay, so they get on the last second here. Ace getting on as the Reaper. Reaper is favored here by quite a wide margin, by the way. He goes into Shroud a little bit too early, so he doesn't get the fear. Look at that huge chunk. Oh, my God. Okay, does he get the kill? Okay, Signet Stone comes out, comboed with the Troll Unguent. This Druid needs to play, like, off the node a bit more. There's the resustain. Actually, I tell a lie. My Reaper build is favored in this. I don't know what the fuck this build is because he lost the initial burst. Probably we're seeing there actually the Beggar's Bindle is gonna lose the hammer. Yeah, they're gonna lose the hammer now over this. Dragon's Despair is gonna lose the hammer. So that's great. Dragon's Despair does still own mid. Meanwhile, the rest of the map, they're losing the fight as they try to bail out here. We've got one of the hotbox players, one of the core guards, getting ripped to pieces by Rev Thief combo. They rotate off. They get a lot of rotting value out of that. Full cap goes to their Duelist Warrior. Dragon's Despair Reaper is also majorly out of position. I think that we could have seen Beggar's Bindle focus this Reaper just a little bit better this game. He takes the stun break on Spectral Armor, but pretty unnecessary because he was dipping into Shroud anyway and didn't use a dodge out of it. And look, he actually got pressured through with Spectral Armor there. It didn't even give him that much Shroud. So down he goes. And it's all well and good, right? It is all well and good for Beggar's Bindle, but they're not recapping their node here. They haven't got it in time. Are they finally going to? This would be such a disastrous mistake. So this is good. Beggar's Bindle obviously fielding a lot of duelists, if you remember, right? So Beggar's Bindle will just hold this. The Dragon's Despair Warrior can't actually contest that anymore. So he's going to have to pull away. And I think we'll just see that sustains for a while. It's really important now that Beggar's Bindle gets something else on the map. It's very close with Beggar's Bindle currently down a little bit on total point score. Let's watch Bullet, who's getting pressured extremely hard up here. He could have moved to a much smarter location here. He wouldn't have been able to be pressured by the enemy Rev. So we see a Stomp attempt go through. The Stomp doesn't land, obviously. Chaotic Release interrupts the body or pushes the body mid-res. Chaos Storm comes down. Huge res coming on Bullet. I think Bullet's actually going to get up. Reckless has still got a lot of cooldowns available. There comes the Rampage. No, Bullet got stomped. Bullet did get stomped, so that was pretty close. I actually missed how exactly he got stomped. Was he getting Shadow Step stomped or something? So Bullet dying, and the Reaper super low here as well. I know he wants to get this kill. E-Brush gets rezzed. And the Reaper on only 100 health in Shroud there, so now the Reaper going down. This is really bad for Dragon's Despair. Let's watch the two core guards and see how they feel as they continue to pressure at the bottom down here. Their Reaper ally does... Oh, wait, did their Reaper ally... Did they just rally? The rallies are insane this game. This is actually so hard to keep up with. Did I just see a rally on this Reaper? He totally did. He got rallied by the core guards. Obscene. And that holds Dragon's Despair in it. Like, that's so important that they got that rally there. Hammer is live again, by the way. We see that Dragon's Despair, having just scored several kills, 3 of the red Beggar's Bindle team are down. And so they obviously can't aggress that. And they're going to lose their 1 node to the Hammer now. They lose their 1 node to the Hammer, while Reckless here beautifully is in position to hold it neutral. So what you're actually looking at if you check out the mini-map here is that Dragon's Despair has free roam on the map. They're slowly pushing up closer and closer towards Beggar Bindle's spawn.
Just like that.
Who are going to need to put out some good plays to get back into this. And they had every advantage in terms of the map that the finals is actually being fielded on here. So, yeah, we're going to watch Beggar's Bindle. We haven't been watching any of their players' perspectives just yet. Let's watch their rotator. With a 3 cap against them, what really we need to see is this character here taking newts, splitting the opponents up. Instead, he goes for a fight on a Reaper. This is a 4v1 on the... No, sorry. This is a 3v2 against the Reaper. And again, I just don't think he gets much value out of this. That withdraw, putting him into the trench here, isn't nice either. He's so out of position with these freaking core guards here. It's so bad. He doesn't go too far, so I think we'll see that he probably gets out-pressured here because, look, both of the core guards are ready to just burst him down. So that's pretty unfortunate. Checking their duelist Mesmer out over here. We have 2 duelists fighting 1 duelist on this node. And when you get a situation like that, it's actually really good for the duelist that's being outnumbered. So that means Dragon's Despair can continue holding them here. Without anybody going to point A from Beggar's Bindle, you're not going to see this 3 cap changes. Not in my opinion, anyway. So let's see. Once again, he's on respawn. Let's see if he takes that opportunity. Actually, I'll tell you what, Signatron, as soon as we stop spectating him, he does realize that that's the play to make. So 1 neutralization comes through. I think he has port available. Yeah, so we might even see him newt and port out. Possibly has to do that. He has to actually start winning some team fights here. I don't know where his portal's actually established right now. Mean Hype taking, once again, team fights. I mean, it's just a bit nuts, really. Like, you can't team fight this when you're staggered. And with that death as well there, I think we're probably going to see, guys, that Dragon's Despair, through their crazy bursty pressure, actually takes the win. 1 final fight over Hammer.
Just like that.
Just to be clear, if Beggar's Bindle wins this Hammer engagement, they are more than in this game because they will neutralize everything. But they have 1 player to basically pull a miracle out of his ass by winning a 2v1. Now, to be fair, he is against like some really glassy... I mean, look, the Rev rotates off! That could be such a mistake here from the Dragon's Despair. Oh no, now he comes back in. Okay. Okay, like I was saying. And look at all the Shroud coming out from Ace there. Respect the Spectral Grasp, my friends. And with that final hammer just basically sealing the deal, I think all we have to see is Dragon's Despair bunk this down. And indeed they are bunking it down with Wreckful. Even if he dies now, all he has to do is just not get stealthed or anything. And yeah, we see Dragon's Despair take the EU Prime tourney for today, for Friday. So congratulations there, guys. Looking at top stats, we can see that Beggar's Bindle really had most value coming from their warrior, who got top damage, kills, defense, and revives. Who did the most damage out of these bursty guys? One of the core guards did, one of them. But the one core guard that's left already, so we can't necessarily check what his stats would have been. But yeah, so there you go. They get a win on a kind of fun, interesting comp. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. Looking back to the lobby. With the sun in my eye, pretty majorly. This is a warrior build here. This is the warrior that the red team was fielding. The blue team was fielding Reckless here. And yeah, what did we see? I mean, I really don't. I guess I should be a lot smarter. What do you guys think about that? Because red clearly had the more, like, balanced comp. And core guards and revs, they're not that good on Skyhammer. They're really not that good on Skyhammer. I mean, equally, the red Beggar's Bindle SD Thief could struggle on Skyhammer because his sword too is punished in the same way. But to such an extent, perhaps it comes down to a question of piloting. It's up to you guys to decide. Hold on. Oh, let's do the super pro thing. Dragon's Despair has won Grent's game. Dragon's Despair has won Grent's game. Every time I pop in to watch these streams, the overlay stuff gets better. Yeah, that's the idea. Basically, I'm not good at it, so I have to, like, hide behind preparation. That is actually my motto. If you want to understand how I've made it through existence in First World 21st Century, that's it. As an adult, that's how I've managed to sustain myself. Having no confidence in what I do, so just coming over prepared. Just, like, tweaking shit. They played this comp for a really long time, did they? Yeah, they had a really coordinated burst, a really enjoyable coordinated burst. I absolutely see that, yeah. Let me hear, though, in chat, before I log off, seriously, give me a... Because I haven't seen so far, maybe people did earlier. Give me a genuine, like, suggestion as to what they can do to sustain this. To actually win a game like that. I want to hear it, guys. How would you beat that comp? What is the best comp to take against that one? Let's say you are in the tournament. What do you guys think? Let's actually think about this. Maybe it will inspire you to get into PvP a little bit. Let's hear it. I want to hear at least one suggestion. Also, if I toggle that off. Yeah, look at that. Oh, baby. Dodge. Mad Pie Man says. Just dodge. Am I getting paid for this? Absolutely not. I'm getting, like, pennies because I get pitiful viewership when I touch PvP. If you want me to get paid for this, then tell people that my PvP streams are good and get them to actually click them. Because I don't really think I have any respect in this arena right now. So, I mean, I literally get a fraction of the viewership when I do this. More support for the burst. WP, why the dashes in the duelist box? It basically just represents the fire and blue spawn and red spawn. So we can suggest that there'd be like a 1v1 happening at one node. This could be one side. And this could be, you know, the other side, right? That's it. I did have the text there. I've had quite a few people ask me today that, so maybe I should put the text back. Mender Engie and Mender Druid. Do you guys really think it's just about out-sustaining it? Chrono Druid, Spellbreaker, Herald, and Core Guard from Dosty. What's your justification there? Not having your Roamer engage team fights? I mean, I felt like I saw that a little bit. I think I saw mean hype here, the Roamer. Pushing too many fights, I think, probably. It might be one of those things that you don't realize how unbelievably powerful mobility is until you actually step back and cast this stuff. Like, I, for a very long time, made the claim that Mesmer's OP just because of its mobility. I think a lot of players sort of don't respect the power of mobility and why, like, you could actually nerf a lot of thief builds in a ton of ways, and they would still be extremely valuable and played. Just because if the thief is using their mobility, they keep their teams in their games for so long. So I think that like all eyes go to a roamer. When you're 3 capped and you're being spawn camped, all eyes go to the roamer. The roamer is the one that saves your team there because they force the team to get away, the enemies to get away from your spawn, allowing you to make a good group to push back in. If they don't do that, then your stagger just costs you the game forever. I think the overlay is good now. Maybe next thing to work on is researching the players. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that they play a lot. I didn't know that. I mean, I really don't know players because I only just sort of come back. How would I research that? Is there any resource for that, Valen? Is there like a Google spreadsheet somewhere that says this is this, and this? Is there one of those? Do people think the vertical separations in the individual boxes are necessary? Oh, what, the white bars? I get that they look a bit ugly. I don't like that I cut the face in half of the Elementalist up here. The damaged Elementalist. I think they are necessary. Maybe they could be a bit thinner, but... Anastasiel says, why are the character names all over the place? What is the significance of the rectangles? Why don't you think about that for a second? What do you think that means? Just try. Just think about it for a second. Hit me with your best shot. I want to hear another comment from Anastasiel here. Give me your speculation as to what this all means. Let's see. Let's see if you can figure it out. You're kind of joking. Well, I mean, if there's a resource, I'll do it. If not, I can't. I mean, actually, I've got to be honest with you, Valen. That sounds boring as fuck to me. Oh, this is this player. This is this. It actually sounds really boring. I would quite like to just see teams. Like, I would like to see... oh, God, I don't know. I'd like to see someone come up with, like a joke guild team name. Like, maybe like the Monkeys or whatever, right? And just queue on that consistently. Because then I would remember who they are. I would remember that much better than... account names and like which account names tend to pick, because it's mostly just super pugs right now, right? That's the annoying thing. So if you guys at all, even if you try, like really weakly try, I promise, if someone had queued today with a guild team, and especially if it's a funny one, because we could all have a laugh about it, if you queue with a funny guild team, I will remember that in a week, 2 weeks. I'll remember, and like you'll get that recognition, even if you only get through round 1. So just do that. I'd rather. Queuing under, like Hotbox and that, queuing under Dragon's Despair is a bit lame because next time I won't necessarily know. Why not colour one half of the block slightly blue and the other slightly red? That's a good idea, Ben Lubar. I think that's an okay idea, definitely.
And the race is underway.
Oh, we don't have a response from Anastasiel. I think he's struggling. Oh, there you go. Does it have to do with those characters' role on the map? Exactly, yeah. So the red thief was a roamer. And the blue team didn't have a roamer. The red team had lots of duelists, while the blue team only had one. While the blue team had lots of damage. And the damagers, DPS. So do I have to send you a guild invite request? What? I don't have any free slots, so if you want to join Spud and do it through that, and that's an open book, you can join Spud, definitely. I've got mails to do that. But there you go, guys. I'm going to leave now. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. It's interesting to me that it takes about an hour and a half to do a daily. How long does anyone know how long Jebro... Is Jebro literally the only guy that's ever casted monthlies, first of all? Is he the only guy? But can anyone tell me, have you ever watched a Jebro monthly? Do people do that? Or do they mostly just watch the, like, Sin stream or whatever? Does anyone know how long it actually takes to watch a monthly? Jake UVP says, what the fuck is this guy talking about? What, me or someone in chat? If it's me, that's a pretty easy way to get timed out, bro. Hey, Inks, how's it going? Oh, Inks, you're saying no idea to the thing. How do I for a guild team? You got to join Spud, Dusty. If you want to do that, you got to join Spud. There's instructions on Discord on how to do that. Monthlies are just as long as dailies. No, really? But monthly should have higher quality games, which means longer games and more brackets because more teams. All right, do me a favor, people in chat. For the love of God, do me a favor. Even if you're terrible at this game, get a guild team with a funny name, okay? And just try, because then you can get QP and you can load in for the monthly. And we can have an actual... I really want a good monthly. Look how much money you get just for fucking showing up on the monthly. 25 gold for playing one game. Come on, guys. All right, please. Just do that, please. I want to see the brackets fill in. Yeah, I know George has tried the last monthly, but he hasn't done before that, has he? Yeah, I don't know about the Swiss tournament thing. We'll have to learn about that. Anyway, there you go, guys. That was Grenth's game. Dragon's Despair with Uzumaki and Hotbox taking the win. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.